Okay, I don't know if you want me to do this, but I'm going to do it anyway because it's just kind of fun, therapeutic. I'm trying to keep it to an hour. But looking at your sketch, again, how does your eye flow? I see an octagonal shape, and then rise along the hood, and then bam, I hit that greenhouse and I stop. My eye stops. Then I see some of these other shapes that are more organic and less geometric, and they seem to be weaving in and out of each other. So I'm not quite sure if you understand what's in front, what's in back. Sections can help you with that. Just drawing section lines on your sketches can tell the reader, the viewer, a little bit more about what you're trying to say with those surfaces. That's helpful. First thing I do is I just look at those wheels. I moved away from them being round. And I'm using some tricks. I don't know what software you're using, but these are some rulers that have symmetry to them. There's a lot of different ways to do that. Just to lay in those wheels, and I usually put everything on separate layers so I can manipulate them, and you'll see why in a minute. Gray down your sketch. Now I'm taking that greenhouse area and just softening the top edge, the profile edge, and then instead of having such an abrupt between the nose and the greenhouse, I just soften that up. Still keeping that separation, but softening it up. Also, I took and lengthened out your vehicle. Just changed the proportions of it. Makes it a little bit more dramatic. And then carrying lines through. That line, I just break it, bring it up a little bit, but carry it through the vehicle. I think that kind of helps with the unity of it all. I want your eye to flow over that whole profile and see that profile shape first, and then focus in on some of the details that are on the inside of the body. Now I go for the rendering side of it. You've got a lot of darks in there, and that's bouncing my eye all around. Doom, 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 doom. But I am going to render this as a cylinder, so it's going to have a core on top. It's going to have a reflection line or dark in the middle. But usually what I'll do is just block fill at first and see if I like where I'm going with those reflections and those shadow areas. And so that's a flat fill. Then I'll come back in with a core on top and just render it like a cylinder. There's a lot of different ways you can render it, but this is the fastest and easiest one that I like. Now I'm putting in the ground cover and making sure I'm hitting the lights for reflections from the top surface. Keeping those on different layers allows me to play a lot with whether or not I like the shadows and the core that I'm putting in. So try to separate those on different layers as you work. And work through the car. Usually, you go back and erase afterwards. But if you're getting into all these little nooks and crannies and details at this stage, you might not have a good cohesive theme that you're trying to get through anyway. Again, I think the message I'm trying to say is try to get a little bit more subtle, try to get a little bit more simplified, and see if that works for you. Also, the energy of the line you use. I'm trying to really draw with my shoulder with a lot of these parting lines and these break lines and things like that. That gives the sketch itself a lot of energy and a lot of fun. So really try to, don't forget your lines and how you're sketching it. Putting in some fake details. I didn't know what I wanted to do with those wheels, so I'm just putting in some surface fluctuation. I don't know what's going on with the wheels, but it gives it a little bit of depth and detail without having to go in there and really define it. And I think at this point I'm putting a little reflection on the wheels, and I'm calling it done. Yay! Turn the line weights on and off. Kind of helps you see whether or not you're reading. And if you like it, then make some car noises and you're done. Don't sign your name like me. All right, take care. See ya.